Hello peasants, Lord Cheese here. Have you ever wanted to travel to the country only to be stopped by an army of 100 people? Have you ever wanted to own someone and force them to do your bidding? And have you ever wanted to become a lord and force the common folk to give you money? Well, I have the game for you. Mountain Blade is a top-down capitalism simulator with a hint of directional based fighting. Set back in the good old days when men were men and wearing manlier dresses, you start off the game with an ancient pop-up screen that gives you many options. The first being playing Mountain Blade. You're going to want to click that one. Now we are gaming. After creating your favorite OC, we get to pick out attributes and details from their lives. I personally wanted to create a strong minority man because I'm not racist. So, I based him off my favorite character from my favorite Japanese manga. His name is Daddy Donovan. He likes to make sure the youths are taken care of because he is just such a generous guy. Anyways, now we start the game. At first you're going to notice you're alone in the middle of nowhere with some change and whatever is on your back. And you are going to see some different color names on buildings. You are now in the land of Caloridia, and there are 5 factions. There is the Chad Nords, the Orientals, the Pasta People, the Dirty French, and the Russians. They are trying to claim this land as their own, but they need your help, so it's your job to side with one of the many factions. Which one you choose is up to you. Now you may be wondering, Cheese, how do I even start? Where do I even begin? Well, let me tell you, my friend, money is what you're gonna need, and lots of it. Now, money can buy food and supplies. Without any food, your man will get hungry and start leaving. That's why I suggest buying smoked fish. It is generally really cheap. The reason I don't say cheapest is because the game has a mini stock market. Prices for items fluctuate all the time, but generally, smoked fish is like 55 bucks. Now, you may be wondering, how do you recruit men? Well, it's quite simple. You can buy them, or you can beat them until they are unconscious and force them to work for you. Also, your men have a salary, and this salary increases every promotion they get. And you're gonna have to pay it by the end of the month. What they do with this money, I have no idea. But you're gonna want to pay them. If not, they're gonna wanna leave. So, my suggestion for this? Fuck them. We can always buy more of them. Just pray an army of mountain bandits didn't just see 12 of your finest men depart from your company. Now you're saying, this is all very useful, Cheese, but how do we get money? And the answer to that is quite simple. What you're gonna do is go to every castle and talk to a lord, lady, or a king, and ask them if they need a job done. And they will send you on a quest. Now there are 3 different types of quests. There are village, towns, and noble quest. Preferably, you'd want to do town and noble quests because they have the highest payout and the greatest way to build up relationships. I recommend you try to build relations with everyone so when shit hits the fan, you can easily choose the winning side. Now, you're only one person, and you can't do everything. So why should you? What if you can get another person with an entirely different set of skills that you don't want to put your precious skill points into? Well, you can get multiple companions and make them good at something. You want a real man to whip the soldiers into shape and won't leave because they haven't eaten in 30 days? Well, go to the tavern. You want a priest who has devoted his whole life to understanding and healing the body? Go to the tavern. You want to have some runaway who has little to no use but eats up all your money and will eventually depart from your company? Well, go to OnlyFans. Every companion will have a different set of skills that you can utilize and expand upon. Now it's time to win a lady's favor because women in this game are actually useful. They help ruin and build relationships. My only experience with doing quests for women is them sending me to go fight their husband's detractors. Now I know what you may be thinking. No, this doesn't make me a simp because at the end of the day, I'm getting paid and stacking my bread. Speaking of which, by this time, you're gonna want to be associated with a faction. You're now in the end game. This is where you're gonna be going to war and claiming land. Once you help your respective clan eliminate the other clans, you beat the game. There's nothing left for you to do. Now, there is a very great modding scene, but there are other games I want to play after I put 21 hours into this game. And for you guys who are saying 21 hours isn't enough, I don't care. Mountain Blade is a 7 out of 50 fish left. I don't recommend this game. Instead, I recommend Mountain Blade Warband. And funnily enough, that was the game I was going to review, but a certain website that I used to buy games gave me a different game, even though it said Warband. Great game, would play again. Anyways, more videos to come, so stay tuned.